The human soul has a minimum daily requirement of entertainment, but listening to a podcast like you're doing right now, yeah, that doesn't count. Welcome to the world of MGM Rewards, where we have the greatest live shows on earth, the biggest names in sports, the best chefs on the planet, and the most unforgettable nights of your life. This is way beyond watching 20-second clips on your phone. This is all the entertainment you can handle and more. So join MGM Rewards now and visit MGMResorts.com to book your next Vegas getaway. Welcome to the show.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, oh, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
What are we going to do now? Today on SB Fantasy Football.
Burn it down, I assume.
Obviously. Yeah. And welcome to the SB Fantasy Football Podcast with your pals Alan and Rapid Dave. I'm Alan.
Rapid Dave.
And we're here for a very special little episode, I would say. I don't know.
We're
special,
so close
not
to the
special.
season. So close.
Season starts in, by the time this is posted,
1 week.
Less than a week, right? Because this is like a Friday post.
Yeah.
So we're like 6 days away from the NFL football happening.
Mm-hmm.
But we've had quarterbacks being named as starters.
Oh, yeah.
We're figuring things out.
Yeah.
Teams are saying, this is my guy, or this is the guy that's going to lose us a bunch of games, so we get our guy in some cases. But let's get into it. Now, I want to talk about these quarterbacks that have been named starters and what that does for you for other players.
Oh, there's a wiggle or not down there?
Right.
Okay,
So, for example, let's start off with the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
Sam Howell is your starting quarterback there. Over Jacoby Brissett, who's your number 2. Mm-hmm. What does that do for you? Does that do anything for you with Scary Terry, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel, Logan Thomas over there at tight end?
I like him. He looked good in the preseason, things like that. It's clicking. He's got a lot of praise from his coach. It makes me feel a little bit more secure about taking, Scary Terry. I believe,
does it?
because he's the only one that I'm taking out of that bunch. Now, is it Ian Thomas? Is that right?
Logan
Thomas. I don't know why I say
Logan.
Ian. But Logan Thomas was a viable tight end a couple of years ago, especially streaming. Like, man, when you picked him up and you needed some points, he was there. So they got a ton of talent around him. And, I think I'm okay with that. I'm not going out of my way to go get Scary Terry or anybody else on that team. But, I'm okay with it. From what I've seen, he's gonna put in some work this year.
There's a lot of high praise around Sam Howell. Had he come out a year earlier, he would have been a first-round pick, was a lot of the projections. But he stayed that extra year and didn't do so hot, right? To me, I just don't know, right? There's not a lot out there about Sam Howell. He had one really good year there in college, followed by a meh year. Played one game last year, the last game of the season, did okay. But it doesn't do anything for me.
Doesn't move the needle.
It doesn't move the needle either way.
It doesn't go too far south or too far up.
It doesn't really do anything.
Right.
But it doesn't help those guys' stock, right? Scary Terry's a guy that I've liked.
You've loved him for
so
long.
I don't know that I necessarily like him this year. I'm just kind of meh. We'll see what happens.
Right.
Let's go down Houston way. Little Houston, Texas action. C.J. Stroud named your starter there. I mean, obviously you take him, right? You take him up there, and he's obviously going to be your starter.
Why can't he just sit for a year?
Okay, but you want to sit him behind Davis Mills or Case Keenum?
Sure, why not? Just let the kid sit.
It's not like he's sitting behind like an Aaron Rodgers or something like that, right? You're sitting behind a couple of guys who were just kind of dudes, right? Case Keenum had that 1 year. Outside of that, Davis Mills has been okay. He's got a really long neck. But we're not training C.J. Stroud to be a giraffe. So, but does that do anything for you with Nico Collins, Robert Woods, Dalton Schultz over there?
I love
anything.
Robert Woods. I love Robert Woods, and Dalton Schultz is amazing as well. He's good hands and whatnot. Runs routes very well. But I don't know. I'm pretty much. I'm not saying I'm avoiding all the receivers or tight ends out of Houston. I'm just saying that I've only drafted like their running backs. Pierce and Singletary for me are going to be what if I go for anybody in Houston. That's who I'm going after. That's how the needle moves for me. And then, I mean, this kid can come out and be a gunslinger. We have no idea, right?
Well,
It's AFC South. Is that what they're in? AFC South, right? So you're talking a rather soft division. He could have some games. He could get in there and see what's going on.
Yeah.
For me, I just want the running backs out of there. I don't want the receivers.
For me, it's no secret. Ohio State quarterbacks are trash.
Yeah. You're biased, though. You know what I mean? Michigan guy.
But history has shown nothing but.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't like USC, but they've produced some guys who have played in the NFL who have done all right.
Okay.
Right?
All right. So you're avoiding everybody, or is it just like you wait and see?
I don't like anybody there in Houston.
I just can't do it.
I
love Robert Woods. I've drafted him like every single year until like now. And then also with Dalton Schultz, he left Dallas.
Well,
he was the prime. Well, he got
They said your services are no longer needed. Yeah. He didn't really leave Dallas.
He left Dallas, and he was
with some
almost
assistance.
He was almost like the the whoopee, if you want to call it a whoopee. You know what I mean? The little blankie.
Dak's little safety.
Yeah, I mean he was
his
peppered.
binky.
He was peppered with targets last year.
Yeah, but also like he just looked like trash at the end of the year.
Yeah, just
right, especially that last game.
Yeah.
That last drive where he wasn't really trying to get out of bounds. He was just.
Everybody on the team had a lot of mental problems or meltdowns at the end of that game. So you can't blame one dude. But you can blame him for what he did. And
you can't blame Zeke because they're like, hey, Zeke, go play center. And he's like, what?
Center. But I'm avoiding Houston Texans at this point, except for the running game. I don't mind Pierce. I don't mind Singletary. That's where I'm at.
Let's go to the Colts.
All right.
Let's stay there in that division.
All right.
Anthony Richardson's named the starter. Jonathan Taylor's still on the PUP. He's going to miss at least 4 weeks. Zach Moss, he's a little banged up. So you got Deion Jackson or Evan Hull as your running back. You got Michael Pittman out there.
Great receiver.
Yeah, Isaiah McKenzie, who's so much potential but has never lived up to it. Mm-hmm. Does Anthony Richardson being named a quarterback do anything for you? And does Jonathan Taylor not being there do anything for you as far as like with Anthony Richardson and the other guys?
Well, of course. I mean, if you don't have like your star running back, it affects the rest of the team. Right now, they don't have to really fear the game, even though I'm drawing a blank right now on the backup there because he actually Deion Jackson. He filled in perfectly when Taylor was hurt. Like he was a great fill-in, like a great waiver pickup for a couple weeks. With Richardson playing, I bought into the hype. I really did. When he's sitting there throwing bombs at, what do they call it thing? I can't even think of it right now. It's the tryouts for the kids when they're coming into it's where they measure
combine?
The combine. He's out there just throwing bombs. I mean, they're just throwing it through the rafters. I was like, oh, this kid's going to be amazing, But I think this is what...
But he hasn't played a lot of football.
I think this is what Pittman needs. But they need Taylor there. That's the thing, right? To completely expand the game. And this kid's got a rocket arm. I'm actually very excited to see what the Colts can do this year. Just with him slinging that ball. Now, it might be a train wreck. He might be just throwing picks like crazy, but it'll be fun to watch.
Okay.
Nonetheless, but for me, I'm not drafting any of those players. But that was before everybody knew that Richardson was going to be named the starter, right? I mean, we all knew it going in. That's the reason. That's how we made our rankings.
I kind of actually hoped he would have sat a year, like honestly, because he hasn't played a lot of football.
Right.
And then you make the argument, okay, well, if he hasn't played a lot, you have him play, but you could also let him sit and learn for a little bit.
Yep.
And you've got Minshew there who's competent, right?
He's serviceable,
but also like might help you get a little bit of higher pick. I don't know, and you need high picks, but I'm staying away from the Colts. Michael Pittman's someone who I've really loved.
Oh, yeah.
I would have liked him more with Minshew back there. I definitely would have. But especially with Jonathan Taylor out, you're taking away a top-tier running back who would take some pressure away from your rookie quarterback. I'm just avoiding it altogether.
That whole situation's been a mess anyways.
I got two more situations I want to talk to you about. One that really surprised me is in New England because Mac Jones is currently the only quarterback on the roster.
Yeah, they've released everybody else.
Released everybody else, so it's just Mac Jones. So what does that say for Belichick and his belief in him? But then also, because like if you take a look, Mac Jones' rookie year, he did all right. Last year, with Matt Patricia being your offensive coordinator, he has a bad year. You get rid of Matt Patricia. Now you got Belichick there. You got a new offensive coordinator. You got Juju Smith-Schuster, who's there now. Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne, who is a young guy that's really like. And then you've got Hunter Henry, Mike Gesicki. So Ramondre Stevenson. You bring in Zeke. You only got 2 running backs on the roster with Ramondre and Zeke.
Yeah.
Zeke's going to be your short yard guy. Ramondre's going to be your everything else. But how do you feel about the Patriots? Especially knowing like it's Mac Jones or nothing, especially right now. Like they're going to go ahead and end up signing 2 other, right? You're not going to start the season with just one quarterback.
Yeah, you can't do
That's
that.
just dumb. But he's it. Like anyone you bring in, it's going to take them a while to come up to speed. So does that give you that Belichick has this faith in him? Does that give you more faith in him in that offense?
He's growing, right? I think it's his 3rd year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And I would say that he's been getting better, right? He's progressing and things like that. He's still such a young kid. He does have a ton of talent around him now. I mean, he can throw the ball at anybody. All those positions are completely competably stocked.
Sure.
There's enough people, there's enough good players that know what's going on, that have played in the league long enough. He's got good hands, good running backs, got a good coach. I mean, one of the greatest coaches, right? Of all time. But yeah, no, they're gonna bring in somebody else just to kind of fill those back positions. I guess they just didn't like those other 2 dudes. I don't know. They're just like, we've seen enough. You don't really need you here, type thing. But for me, it doesn't really change the needle at all because the only player I was really going after, anyways, it was Ramondre Stevenson. That's it. That's the only player I would. I mean, I maybe picked up Zeke in the 17th round.
Definitely like Ramondre. I think Zeke being signed hurts his stock a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you get into that goal line position, I feel like it's going to be Zeke. I think he's going to vulture some touchdowns away from him. I mean, Zeke's 1 year removed from scoring 14 touchdowns last year, right? I think that definitely hurts Ramondre's stock. I think you've got something interesting with Devontae Parker and Juju Smith-Schuster being there.
Some veteran fellas.
And I think it's even more because I think there was a lot of questions around why did you sign Juju when you let N'Keal Harry go, but then you see he got cut. N'Keal Harry got cut on his new. So what? Maybe Belichick knew
Jacoby
something.
Myers up there, right? He was up there and then he went to the Raiders.
Right, but then also N'Keal Harry was another guy. But so
they got problems up there. But then again, like I said, the only thing that really affected me, because I'm not drafting anybody else that's on that team, with the exception of Ramondre Stevenson, and for me, he fell in my rankings as soon as they signed Zeke. I was like, nah, I'm done, man. I'm not even going to draft him. I didn't draft him in my leagues, and I love the kid. Amazing player, great running back, got a great feel for the game. He's a 3-down back, essentially. I mean, he's got good hands, and he's power.
Belichick got rid of Damian Harris, who was a really good running back, too, because of the faith in Ramondre Stevenson, which is weird because Belichick has never really been a one running back type of guy.
Yeah. They'll have a guy that the first couple downs, and then James White just always comes to my head, right? I mean, I love James White, especially in PPR formats. He was like, you could plug him in whenever.
10 plus points a week.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's going to get a touchdown or he's going to catch 10 balls. I don't know what's going to happen.
He's going to have 7 catches for 30 yards and maybe a touchdown, right?
But for me, it doesn't do anything other than make me. I wouldn't draft any of these people anyways. In these players, with the exception of Ramondre Stevenson. Now, with the quarterback situation, it doesn't change it. But adding Zeke does change it to where I'm not drafting Stevenson anymore unless I get great value on him. But everybody's just going after him anyways. Okay.
And last situation we're going to talk about, the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray's on the PUP. He's out 4 weeks. You just signed Joshua Dobbs. He's got 2 weeks to learn the offense, and you have Clayton Tune there.
They're already
all signs are pointing towards Joshua Dobbs being the starter. What does this do for, you got Marquise Brown out there, Rondale Moore, Greg Dortch, Zach Pascal's over there now, James Conner is your running back out there. What does this do for your... Not that you had high hopes for the Cards, but you've got some serviceable players there. But now that you've got a bag of nothing at the quarterback position, right? They had Colt McCoy there, who knows that offense, who's been with that team, been with them for a few years, and they said, "No, we're good."
For me, it's I moved James Conner from my decent in my rankings to I can't draft him at any point, and I love Hollywood. Now he's undraftable. I just can't do it. To know that they're raising the flag, they're going for draft picks. They
want that Caleb Williams.
I
right?
mean, they've given up, so I've got nothing for it. I hope other people in front of me take these players, so I don't have to make that decision. I do like James Conner. James Conner has always been a solid player. Now he gets hurt.
He's touchdown dependent.
Yeah,
I think he missed 2 to 4 games last year. Keontae Ingram is the backup there who doesn't have a ton of experience, but
James Conner catches balls. He's actually, he'll power run it too. I mean, he's bowling ball, but he's a little fragile. He does get hurt every so often. Fragile. And but he does catch, which also bumps up his stock in PPR leagues. But for me, he fell off the list of people I'm willing to draft. So did Hollywood. I can't do it. I just avoided them all, to be honest with you. I didn't draft any of those players. And I had, I was going to sneak in and take Conner just in every league. Just get him as a flex. All right. Not even RB2 as a flex. And I just said, no, I can't do it. Can't do it.
All right. Well, you heard it here, folks. Hey, real quick. Start, cut, bench. Brock Purdy, Daniel Jones, Derek Carr.
Oh, is Purdy healthy? Is he back to 100%?
We're assuming he's healthy, right?
Well, since I haven't seen it, I have to cut Purdy because I have no idea.
He's played already, and he looked good. Yeah, he played and he looked good.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So he played like a series, right?
Yeah,
like
a little bit.
It wasn't even
played a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't even a full. Oh, man. And I like Daniel Jones. I do like Daniel Jones. So if I get Purdy, last year Purdy, right up to, I'm starting Purdy.
Okay.
I've already seen enough of Derek Carr. So he's cut, and I'm benching Daniel Jones. But Derek Carr has bulked up. He put some pounds on him.
He's got some offense around him.
And he's got offensive weapons. He's looked
good in the preseason.
Yeah. This is a tough one.
He's got an axe to grind.
It's one of those things where I'm not touching any of these players anyways, unless it's like a streaming or if it's, if you're in a super flex. You know what I mean? Superflex. There's the only way. This is the only way any three of these fellas are going to be on my roster. Okay. Because for me, that just ain't happening. Right?
Isn't it happening?
Yeah. But I'd love to see Brock Purdy back because it was amazing watching him last year. I really do hope Derek Carr is a New Orleans new place. And put some pounds on him, get some muscle on him, and he's got a fresh new offensive mind around. Everything new, right? New.
Ignore the fact that Derek Carr's worst season was under Dennis Allen, who's his current coach right now. Just ignore that fact.
And then you have Daniel Jones, which they rely on him way too much. He has to run the ball quite a bit. He's a slower version of Josh Allen, if you wanted to call it that. He's a big boy.
JV Josh Allen?
He's JV Josh Allen.
Okay.
But I do like Daniel Jones. Just hopefully he doesn't have to do everything this year. They still haven't fixed a lot of problems that they have around in the receiving area. Saquon signed.
But you did get Saquon signed,
which is
so you
definitely
do have him.
A bonus. But his problem is he has not had wide receiver talent around him for a full season since he got there. The poor kid, they're not helping him out. But yeah, for me, I'm cutting them all.
All right, there we go. But hey, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, that follow button, and then let us know. Are we completely off base with these guys? Are we hitting it the nail? That right? Hammer right on the nail, right? What do you think? Let us know. Or are we just completely full of shit? I don't know, man. But hey, guys, thank you so much for listening. As always, I'm Alan.
Robert Dave.
Talk to you guys later. thank you for listening to the SB Fantasy Football Podcast.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.